Okay, guys, so it looks like I'm definitely having some trouble streaming today. I'm going to try, I think, once more. We'll see if this comes through. And of course, unfortunately, the disconnection means I've probably lost many of you. I am so sorry for this. It's just one of those things that I may consider doing something different in the future. Used to work really well. The live streaming approach was very effective. However, not so much these days. So um, it seems every time I try this, there's always some little glitch or whatever. Right now, it seems okay. We'll take a look here at YouTube and see if I'm doing anything right now. Sometimes it's so hard to tell what's happening on the other side of things here. Let's go to my channel and see. Yeah, so I mean, it seems to be there. Um, Hopefully this will keep working. We'll take a look. We'll see. I'm just going to go into the go live window here so I can see what's happening. And I seem to be working right now. So yeah, I mean, this is weird because it says it's excellent condition right now. So we'll see if this continues. But in the meantime, what I was talking about was object styles. So a big part of Adobe Captivate, one cohesive theme that you can use over and over again. You can see here my submit button. So I was able to get to Politica, but I'm not sure if the stream is still working. I can't tell. Um, how annoying is this? So anyway, I'm just going to keep going and see what happens here. So I found the Politica font. You can see I've already activated it in my Creative Cloud account, and that is a requirement of being able to use the Adobe fonts. But there are other sources of fonts as well. You can use any system font as long as the text is dynamic. So, like if I am working with this stuff here, of course, so long as you have uh, the just the standard text here. When I publish this out, all of this text will get converted into a series of images anyway, so I'm not too worried about whether the end user has these fonts installed. But once I've made those choices, once I've customized the appearance, the color, the font, I can then, of course, save changes to my existing style. And I could be using this style 100 times throughout this e-learning project. All of them will get those changes, the updated colors, the updated fonts, and you can start to build your theme, which contains all of these object styles together as one. So, difficult live stream today, obviously, because we're trying to cover a lot of information that's very complicated and difficult to do. I think what I'll do in the future is maybe look at other possibilities for pre-recording this stuff, but maybe with a live audience. I'm not sure, like a Zoom call, and then publish that on the YouTube channel. But hopefully we've given you something today that you can work with there. But in this case here, I can certainly um, promote the idea of using custom themes. Let me show you a few other custom themes that I've built over the years here. One of my more recent projects um, was for an organization that I've done work for before. And let's see if I can find their stuff here. Let's let's see here. Actually, let's do this. So let's go into this project here, and let's take a look at um, you know what? Let's do this. Let's first of all close this project down. We'll open up this one here, and we'll go ahead and apply a different. We'll see how this works first of all. You can of course browse to any other theme that you might happen to have. There's a couple on my desktop here. Here's an abstract office theme that I've developed just to be kind of a generic um, layout, and you'll see it will change the fonts, it will change the background image. Obviously, there are certain things you'll need to override, but you can see here that, it's a completely different look and feel. In this case here, if you take a look at certain objects, you might need to tweak them a bit here, like choose the color of the characters. I don't know why that's showing up as white. There we go. So I've completely changed the look and feel of this particular project. And it's because I spent the time developing a complete set of master slides, which you can see here. You can see there's my blank, there's sort of my standard content. All my quiz question slides are here. And, this is a theme that you could pretty much use with any organization. It's generic enough, but it wouldn't take very much time to customize any theme for your organization. I usually start off with, let me close this. Let me just kind of take you through the basics. So I would choose a blank project here. I would choose a resolution because if I know that I want to use 1024 by 627, I could select that. Alternatively, I could choose a custom size and simply put in the numbers that I intend to use. Like I said, this is the style that I've been using quite a bit. And we could create this project here. And from here, I could maybe start off, and my advice would be to start with the blank theme, because the blank theme just has the minimum number of master slides that you need to get started. So you don't need to base it on what someone else has done or thought of beforehand. So let's go to the master slide view. And I would customize these. I would customize things like my question slides and start to change the object styles. So like, for example, maybe I don't want Tahoma as my font. I want to stick with something maybe a little more generic. I don't want it to be bold. And we might make it italic or something unique like that. Once you've finished customizing each object that's in your master slide, you simply click on this little menu right here and save changes to the existing style. And what's going to happen is everywhere else in this project where it uses that title, you'll see it's been updated on all of the question slides to have Arial and italics and so forth. And again, you just keep selecting your objects. You could do this all from what's known as the Object Style Manager, but I'm not a fan of this. I like to do it live and on the slide itself, but I could do things like change this text button to a transparent button, which allows me to pick a color for it. And we can do stuff like this, change the font, of course, to something more generic like this. And we can even add the corner radius to that. And then, of course, once I've made those choices, made those selections, I can save changes to existing style. And like before, all the buttons that use that particular style in the course will be updated. Sometimes there's some weird things like this here. They save this this theme, this object style, with some modifications. So I can just roll over this, change it to something else, and then change it back, and it will update to the proper. Let's undo what I just did there. That's not right. Yeah, so we want to make sure that they're sized correctly. Let's first of all make sure they're aligned to the same size. And we'll move this over back to here. And let's just go back to the defaults. And like I said, you just keep making these changes to all the objects so that it aligns with the brand, the choices that you're making. Add some background images and things like that, and you end up with your own custom theme. Once you're happy with that, you can save the theme as, and it'll save it as a CPTM file. You can't open a CPTM file just by double clicking on it, but you can use this to apply that theme to projects that you're currently working on. So, as an example, if I was going to apply this theme to this project here, whatever custom theme I've come up with, I can then navigate to where that theme is. And here's a purple blue theme that I've created. This will override all of my stuff here. And this is kind of a variation on that DevLearn theme that I started to work on. But again, the important part here is that I can very quickly and rapidly develop my e-learning just by inserting slides from that master slide. I can import text files that contain quiz information, and you can see I can very quickly build this e-learning course and have it contain all of the elements that I need it to contain. So you don't want to spend time building this stuff each and every time you start working on a project. You want to be able to spend a few hours building your theme up front and then apply those to the slides that you're going to build. And this is what I've done here in this case here. But it can be anything you want. In this case here, the project would preview quite nicely in a browser. When it comes time to publishing this project, I like to turn on the scalable HTML content. Again, with this 1470 by 900, you won't get some of the problems that 1024 by 627 gives you with graphics and images and even the text being kind of grainy looking. The larger project size really reflects well when you turn on HTML scaling. Your project will shrink to smaller browsers, even small tablets or larger mobile phones quite nicely. And so while you could design in responsive design, you don't have to. You can design a course that's going to shrink and grow depending on the screen size that it's being displayed upon. And this will look really nice. And you don't have to worry about every single time you add a button, you have to design that button or copying and pasting it from another slide to your new slide. You can have these all set up as object styles. I don't really use them myself. One final thing I'll say before letting you guys go today. When you go into themes, there are a couple of other things that contribute to the theme itself besides the master slide and the object styles. Your table of contents is something that you could customize. I haven't done so with this theme here, but you could totally pick and choose the colors and the fonts and all that stuff for the table of contents. And similarly, you have these controls, the playback controls along the bottom of your screen. Again, I prefer to build my own navigation controls, and so I don't generally use the playback controls or the table of contents. But again, you can customize those and literally pick colors from your theme, and allow the color of the theme to be, to match what it is that you're doing here within the project here. And of course, there's a lot of defaults. Like if you wanted a larger play bar, you could choose that, and pick colors that contrast each other well. It's very doable. But again, I'm more of a purist in that I just want to build my own controls and my own navigation buttons. But that's just me. Of course, you can include the table of contents and the playback controls as part of the theme and save it out so that it has those. If anyone is in a situation where, if you are in a situation where you need help with that sort of thing, you can reach out to me at my website, captivateteacher.com. Contact me, and we could do like a professional inquiry. Tell me you're interested in having me work with you to help you develop your theme for your organization's e-learning projects. And then we can discuss your needs in greater detail. And also, I can get back to you as to what sort of price we'd be looking at for something like that. But that's definitely something that I've done a ton of, and I'm happy to work with organizations and help them, build out their projects so that they can very quickly build their e-learning courses. It might seem like an added expense when we're talking about working together on something like this, but on the flip side, of course, I think I will probably save you money because you'll be able to build those e-learning courses as quickly as possible because you'll have all the building blocks in place. Guys, that's it for today. I think our success and failures here with the whole live stream technology. I don't know what the issue is. I got to look at my software and see why I'm constantly disconnecting. I don't even know if anyone's feeling this right now. Hopefully you are. But yeah, I think I'll look at changing this up a little bit here because this is not obviously a very effective way to learn.